So there's a few things of note in the autumn statement today. One thing that really caught my interest was £500,000 going to support fintech firms. Technology is a game changer for the future, and we are really supportive of this move to help small fintech firms move from startups to scale-ups. This is a really important opportunity to encourage firms to invest in this country and help develop the future of the UK as the fintech capital of the world. However, there is something that we need to do at the same time, and we need to change the process of authorisation so that these firms can get authorised much quicker than currently. At the moment, it can take up to 18 months, and that will only encourage them to go elsewhere. Alongside that, we have the announcement that the Joint Money Laundering Steering Group will review their guidance on ID electronic verification. That's a really good piece of news and will certainly support the very exciting work that we're doing with the development of a digital ID. And then there is the announcement of a new savings bond. This will give an extra boost to the opportunity for people to save in a higher rate savings vehicle, which will give them greater resilience to build a stronger financial future.
A major theme in the Chancellor's statement this year has been housing and his moves to address the current nationwide shortage of housing, particularly for younger people. He has announced an additional £8 billion of spending over the next 4 years to accelerate house building on public sector land, to create the infrastructure necessary for local housing developments, and to build another 40,000 affordable homes for rent or purchase. He's also announced an extended regional pilot to extend right to buy to housing association tenants who are currently renting. All these initiatives are crucially important because they reflect what we've discovered in our TISA research, that not only do houses provide somewhere for people to live, but increasingly people are regarding them as an important part of their long-term saving and their preparations for retirement. Today, around 80% of people aged 45 to 65 own a house, and it's important that we replicate that for the next generation to maintain that degree of long-term saving. Thankfully, there is very little on pensions tax in this year's autumn statement. We did receive confirmation that salary sacrifice for pension contributions continues, whereas some other salary sacrifice schemes are being done away with. The one change to pensions tax relief relates to the money purchase annual allowance, a device which affects a small number of people who are dovetailing work with retirement. Those are the people who are in a workplace pension scheme for perhaps 3 days of the week while they're employed, and then drawing their pension for the other 2 days a week to produce the necessary money to live on. In future, their workplace pension contributions, plus any other personal pension or SIP contributions they're making, will not be able to exceed £4,000 a year, a reduction from £10,000 a year. Treasury estimate that this will save £75 million a year, which is equivalent to £175 million of pension contributions lost to savings. Lastly, the Treasury have announced a review of patient capital investment and the barriers that prevent that at the moment. This should be meat and drink for pensions investments because inherently they are very long-term savings, so ideal to put into things like financing small companies or building infrastructure. And with automatic enrolment now adding another £2.5 billion of pension contributions a year, it's a great opportunity if only we can overcome the barriers around long-term savings versus liquidity, the ability to cash up your units, transfer to another pension plan, and so forth. I think it's quite a challenge, but it's one that the industry should rise to and join in this review in a constructive approach.